All right, what is going on, everybody? Thank you very much for hanging out. This is probably it feels like the 15th time today that you guys have seen me. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I mentioned a little bit earlier, so I put out a video. It was specific. Magic Johnson was on FS1 with the Speak crew over there, and last video I put out was specific about the Lakers, their struggles, how their team probably is not good enough to really compete for a championship. Not probably, it's not good enough to compete for a championship. This one I wanted to do separately. So, FS1 Speak, which is Joy Taylor, Keyshawn Johnson, and Paul Pierce, are having a conversation with Magic Johnson in studio. And this one is more about the competitiveness of the NBA. It's more about rivalries in the NBA. It's a really interesting conversation about what's wrong with today's NBA. Why aren't players more competitive against each other? What happened to the All-Star game? So let's start it off with this. I am going to pause at different times. There's a clip I'm also going to play, which has LeBron up in Sacramento. Dave McMenamin put something on Twitter about the All-Star game and things like that. So we're going to mesh everything together. But this is first on Speak. Magic Johnson talking about the lack of rivalry and competitiveness in the league.
The Celtics, Lakers hate each other, disliked each other. So it made for great TV and people tuning in. And now I don't know if it's AAU, I don't know what it is. Now everybody's shaking each other's hand. Everybody like each other, won't go at each other like really hard. Even that's what happened to the All-Star game, see?
Yeah.
See, the All-Star
carried into the All-Star game. Right there.
See, we hated the East.
Right.
I'm coming to bust you.
Right.
Michael, Isaiah, Dr. J. You can't have one over me. See, I'm coming to get that. Now, okay,
see, Magic, this is what I
let
say.
them score 200 to 200.
This is what I say. When in your era, that's how, when I played, we was forced to play because Cole was going to force you to play.
That's right.
Like, you don't come out here lollygagging because he coming hard. It got to come from the top.
Yep.
It got to come from LeBron saying, hey, we're going to take this serious. From KD saying, hey. From Steph saying, hey. That's where it's got to come from.
Well, I'm going
to pause it right there. All right, this is the only thing I disagreed with Paul Pierce said. And I love Paul Pierce taking it back to when he was in the league. And, a lot of these players obviously have a ton of respect for Kobe. Do you remember when it was Dwayne Wade and Kobe going at it? Basically, guys were getting injured, and somebody got injured. And I remember Dwayne Wade apologizing to Kobe, and Kobe's like, no, I'm good. I like that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But this is what I disagree with what Paul Pierce said. The only thing I disagree with, he said, it's got to come from Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James. I got to be honest with you guys. I think that era is really close to ending, and I think those players are on their way out the door. And it doesn't mean that those players don't have respect from them, but I'll tell you where it needs to come from. It needs to come from who's the face of the league moving forward. It needs to come from Giannis. It needs to come from Anthony Edwards. It needs to come from Jason Tatum. It needs to come from Jaylen Brown. It needs to come from Luka. Needs to come from Jokic. It's got to come from these players that are going to be in this league for the next 8 to 10 years, more or less, whatever the case is. It can't come from the guys that are just about to leave. There is a lack of competitiveness in the NBA. Look, could it be just as simple as this? These guys got just too rich and happy, and there's so much money flowing in now. It's like, I don't need to fight the way these other guys needed to fight when they were building the league. This thing just comes easy to me now. The Players Association, the union, how powerful they are. They just don't have an interest of fighting the way they used to. Well, that's what's hurting your product. We watch sports because of the competitiveness, because it feels like you want it more than the fans do. Now it feels like the fans are saying, well, is anybody going to fight here or not? And most of these players, at least in these exhibition games, are talking about, no, of course we're not going to fight in an all-star game. I love Magic's perspective. I love Paul Pierce's perspective. Keep listening here.
Who Larry Bird was coming for me.
Right.
You see?
That's it.
And if we line it up now,
right.
He put on that green, I put on that purple.
Yeah, he ain't playing. You ain't playing.
Come on, man.
Right.
And that's what it's got to get back to that.
Yeah.
And it's a reason why the number of viewerships are going down. Mm-hmm. And these guys better wake up and say, hey, man, we got to change this. And also, Load management. The guys got to play.
They got to play. They got to play. We took pride in playing.
Yes.
82 games. Like, I wanted to.
Yes.
Toe hurting, knee, ear, finger. Like, I still want to be. I'm out there.
I'm going to stop it right there. You could be a fan of Paul Pierce. You could hate Paul Pierce. I'm sure there's probably a lot of Laker fans that are on here like, yeah, I hate Paul Pierce. Tell me what Paul Pierce is saying right there is not 100% right. Tell me that Paul Pierce, who's sitting back there and saying you got to have pride in playing the game. Listen, it's important. It's very important. The NBA is at a really interesting point. It's going to be up to the players. By the way, Adam Silver can do whatever he wants. He could try. He could say, guys, we really need you to compete in the All-Star game. The guys could be like, yeah, no, thank you. Adam Silver can try to put some, hey, you got to play 65 games to win an MVP or any of these individual awards. Okay. See if the players do. It really just comes down to the players. It's actually going to come down to two sources. It's going to come down to the fans and the players. If the fans really don't like the product, it's going to affect the players. And maybe this is a wake-up call for some of these players to say, we have this too good, and we are disrespecting the game of basketball. We're disrespecting the previous Hall of Famers and NBA players that built this league into the cash cow that it is right now. You know, next year, the contract starts for NBC and ABC, ESPN, and is it Amazon? Amazon, $77 billion contract moving forward. The league is printing money. Nobody's saying that they're not printing money, but the perception of the league is not good. I love to see Magic go at the league a little bit here. I love to see guys like Paul Pierce go at the league a little bit. But here's how it's going to change. It's going to change because the players say, yeah, we're in. Yep, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I don't like the perception of the league. There also has been negative news. We know that has more to do with the game and the style of the NBA. I'm going to play something here for you guys as well. This is Dave McMenamin grabbing a video of LeBron. LeBron's being asked a number of different questions about the All-Star game and so forth. Take a listen. This is a little bit over a minute.
It had to change. Something had to change. No, I did not. Okay. I was not part of the committee.
He said he didn't like it. I think Book did too.
Everyone has their own opinion.
Talking about the All-Star game.
Pretty unorthodox.
Yeah, I mean, it's different, in a sense. But I don't know. I don't really have a – we see. We see when we get there. It's different. Obviously, anytime you make some type of change, it's going to be some buck back. I don't know. I mean, I have my ideas of what could possibly work.
That's kind of why, I'd love to get
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
But like coming out of Indiana, when you saw the reaction.
Again, it's all about the All-Star game.
We got to do something. Obviously, the last couple of years have not been a great All-Star game that Sunday night. But I mean, listen, it's a bigger conversation. It's not just the All-Star game. It's our game in general. Our game is it's a lot of fucking threes being shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bigger conversation just the All-Star game.
What do you want to?
I can't do that today. Not in Sacramento. Sacramento, I love you guys, but you can't give you this conversation today.
All right, that's listen. Love the honesty. Great conversation. This is bigger than just the All-Star game. We got bigger problems than just the All-Star game at the end of the day. For those who are bitching and complaining about the All-Star game, which I'm one of them, last video that I did when KD reacted to it, I said, okay, just cancel the All-Star game. Clearly, the players don't want to be a part of the All-Star game. They just cancel it. There's nothing competitive about it. If it's that bad and it's that inconvenient for them, then find something else or just cancel the game. But LeBron's point there about we got a bigger problem than just the All-Star. At least the All-Star game is one day out of the year. It's one night. But there's a bigger problem. The stuff that we're talking about and LeBron's pointing out there, the three-point issue. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time with Adam Silver on his quotes that he had during the NBA Cup, the championship game, talking about we're looking into it. We're looking into this. We're looking into that. The perception of the league right now, there's a lot of negativity around the league and Adam Silver, and players are starting to speak up on it as well. You know what I'd like to hear from more of the players? I'd like to hear, we'll use LeBron as an example. LeBron saying we're taking too many threes. I would like to hear what LeBron would like to see the league look like. I would like to hear from guys like Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker. Give me some of the younger players. What do you think of the league today? What do you like? What do you dislike? Why aren't more players competing for an all-star game? Why are they not? Why are so many players sitting out? Why are they? Let's hear from their perspective, because I don't think we're here. It's okay to hear from LeBron, Steph, and KD, but let me tell you something about those three guys. They've all been in the league 15 plus years, and they're on their way out. In 5 years, those three players will not be in the league. Give me some of the youngsters. Give me the guys that have been in the league 6, 7, 8 years. Let me hear from them. Let me hear from guys that we know are going to be around for 8, 9, 10 more years. So there's a little bit more, like I mentioned, the original interview there was on Speak on FS1. Really good interview. If you guys haven't, I'll link it down here. But Magic on the set there and kind of going back. And again, I think the Paul Pierce portion of this, I like the points that Paul Pierce was making. So your thoughts, your comments, what do you guys think? Is the NBA all of a sudden becoming a product that you're watching less and less? I'm not the right person to ask, because I swear you can jack the game up as much as you want. I'm still going to watch. I'm an NBA fan. I'm a basketball fan, and I just love the game. But I do understand I'm not the target. They already got me. It's everybody else that they're trying to keep and grow the game as well. So your thoughts there. I will be doing a post-game show tonight, reacting to after the Lakers and the Kings. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.